We're replacing this tank because it's kind of old. We normally figure these things as having a lifespan of about 50 years. This one has just turned 56 a couple of months ago. And so that's one reason. Also, the cost of repainting these tanks is more than the average person might think. When we repainted the other tank at the south end of town, the 8th Street tank, that was about $230,000. So let's just apply that cost to the replacing of it. Another reason, besides just storing water for domestic consumption, is for use in firefighting. In fact, firefighting drives the bus when it comes to sizing our water system, the mains, and the tankage.
The fire department is really happy about the new water tower. One reason, it's 56 years old and we live, work, operate right underneath it. But the big improvement, we're doubling our volume of water up to 200,000 to 400,000 gallons of water. Houses are not getting any smaller, buildings are not getting any smaller. All houses now and buildings in general, everything inside of them is petroleum-based, plastics and everything else, so they're much more volatile, which makes the fires a whole lot harder to fight.
About every 10 years, the town of Kill Devil Hills, in any town or county or city, updates their water system master plan, and it looks ahead for 10 or more years at the capital projects it's going to need to do to replace aging facilities, to deal with expansion and that sort of thing. And so we started thinking about it in 2015 and 16, and so we got together design prices and cost estimates and went to the board. They unanimously approved it. And construction has been underway since January of this year. The first day of the contract time on this project was in early January. We started with actually a parallel contract to get the big storm drainage that was in the DOT easement down there out of the way. Next came a remarkable foundation system. You can't just pour a concrete pad on the shifting sands of the Outer Banks here and hold up a tank like this. An amazing augured cast-in-place foundation system was built with 18 large diameter concrete piling going down to a depth of around 70 feet to hold up this turntable looking concrete platform that we built. And then once that was completed, in comes a steel crew along with tractor trailer load after trailer load of steel plates. And the welding crew and erection crew welded those together into sub-assemblies and assemblies and started erecting them, and you could slowly see, as we have in the background here, first the cone, and then they started building the transition for the bowl. Our contractor on this, which is Landmark Structures out of Texas, they build the bowl, the spheroidal part that you see in the background there, down close to the ground where the winds are lower and people are working at a safer, lower height. They completely build it, assemble it, then set all the other pieces above it. Finish painting the ball. In just a little time, you'll see the white first and second intermediate coats and then the gloss coat go on, plus the Kill Devil Hills logo will go on. And once all that's done and the big pumpkin, the big sphere there is totally painted, then the 12 jacks up on that top platform will let cables down and hoist that whole thing up. And the pumpkin, the ball, will rise up and it'll be anchored in its permanent position. All the cell equipment that's presently at the top of our existing old 56-year-old water tank has to come down so it can be dismantled. Amazingly, that'll all happen in about one day. All of the cell gear will need to be located on a new 180-foot tall cell tower, the better looking monopole tower, which will go from this point of view right in line with the tank, sort of behind it. And so that'll all happen in about a March time frame.